Joel Osteen, once an unassailable figure in American Christianity, transformed faith into a $150 million global empire. His Lakewood Church draws 50,000 attendees each week to a former NBA arena, while broadcasts reach over 100 countries. The church operates at a scale comparable to a sports franchise and a media company combined. Osteen's approach, emphasizing positivity and personal success over sin or judgment, has made him a household name. Millions stream his sermons online, buy his books, and tune into televised services, creating a reach that extends far beyond Houston. Yet, behind the success, cracks are appearing. A church like no other, Lakewood Church occupies what was once the Houston Rockets Arena, a 16,000-seat venue transformed into a place of worship. Each weekend, 4 services fill the arena with tens of thousands of attendees, guided by ushers and captured by camera crews. The church's stage is adorned with lights, LED screens, and modern sound systems, creating an immersive experience. Outside the physical space, broadcasts in multiple languages extend the reach worldwide. The congregation is not just local, but global, and the church's digital presence multiplies its influence, reaching homes, prisons, and hospitals across continents, creating an audience comparable to top media outlets. The prosperity gospel engine Osteen's sermons rarely focus on traditional Christian themes like sin, repentance, or judgment. Instead, they promise wealth, health, and happiness to those who believe. This theology, known as the prosperity gospel, fuels Lakewood's expansion. By aligning faith with material success, Osteen speaks directly to the desires of many Americans. His carefully curated message, stripped of fire and brimstone, encourages followers to see faith as a pathway to personal gain. Over time, this approach transformed him into a publishing and media powerhouse, with books selling more than 20 million copies worldwide, and the church generating revenue from donations, tours, and licensing deals. Wealth and influence. Osteen claims he does not take a salary from Lakewood, yet royalties, book deals, and other income streams have cemented his place among the wealthiest preachers globally. For followers, the promise of prosperity is inspiring. For critics, it raises questions about the authenticity of the message. The church's income is substantial, exceeding $90 million annually, yet financial transparency is minimal. The Osteen family maintains tight control, with Joel and Victoria as co-pastors and their children in leadership roles. Every major decision, from spending to outreach, remains within this inner circle, leaving outsiders reliant on limited public statements. The 2017 flood controversy. In August 2017, Houston faced devastating floods that submerged neighborhoods and left families stranded. While the city struggled, Lakewood's doors remained closed. The church claimed the building was inaccessible, yet photos surfaced showing dry parking lots and untouched walkways. Social media exploded with criticism, highlighting the discrepancy between the church's image of generosity and the reality on the ground. Osteen eventually stated the church would open as a shelter, but only after public pressure. The incident revealed cracks in the ministry's image and raised questions about the priorities of a congregation built on the promise of abundance and outreach. Hidden cash and financial questions. In March 2021, a plumber repairing a toilet uncovered nearly $600,000 in hidden cash and checks inside the church walls, matching the total reported stolen in a 2014 burglary. The discovery raised eyebrows and questions about how such a large sum could remain hidden in a high-security facility for years. Lakewood turned the cash over to authorities but provided no further explanation. The incident, coupled with lack of independent audits, fueled skepticism about financial practices. Critics argue that without transparency, donors, members, and the public cannot verify stewardship or accountability, creating tension between faith-based trust and organizational responsibility. Legal scrutiny and branding challenges. Beyond finances, Lakewood has faced legal challenges, including a lawsuit over using a celebrity's image without consent. While the case was quietly settled, it exposed the aggressive branding and marketing strategies employed by the church. Observers noted that the organization often operates in ways that blur lines between ministry and business. Such practices invite questions about oversight, governance, and the balance between promoting faith and managing a corporate-scale enterprise. As scrutiny increases, so do doubts about whether the empire can sustain its reputation if transparency and ethical standards are not strengthened. Security failures and tragedy. On February 11, 2024, tragedy struck during a Sunday service when a former member entered Lakewood with an AR-15 and her child, injuring 2 people, including her own son. The incident exposed gaps in security protocols, including inadequate screenings and reliance on off-duty officers. Consultants reviewing the events noted missed warning signs and lapses in volunteer checks. The trauma experienced by congregants highlighted that operating a church on such a large scale carries life or death consequences. The event forced leadership to confront vulnerabilities, showing that even immense wealth and influence cannot insulate an organization from real-world risks. The Inner Circle and Control Lakewood Church is controlled tightly by the Osteen family, with co-pastors Joel and Victoria overseeing decisions alongside their children. Financial and operational control remains centralized, with outsiders having little insight into the organization's inner workings. Transparency is minimal, with no independent audits and limited public reporting. Critics argue that moral authority requires accountability, and without it, the ministry's credibility is weakened. The family-run structure makes succession and long-term resilience fragile, as the church's identity is closely tied to Joel Osteen himself. Any disruption to this leadership could have dramatic implications for staff, donors, and global followers. The fragile empire. The prosperity gospel, the media empire, and family control create an interdependent system heavily reliant on one individual. Experts warn that when charismatic leaders depart, organizations often experience sharp declines in revenue and influence. Lakewood's donations, programs, and affiliated ministries are all connected to the Osteen brand. Without succession planning or transparent governance, even minor scandals or leadership transitions could destabilize the ministry. The risk is magnified by global visibility and expectations, making the church vulnerable to public scrutiny, internal dissatisfaction, and rapid declines in support if trust erodes. Accountability and the future. Despite massive reach and resources, megachurches like Lakewood operate with minimal external oversight. Millions of followers trust without question, but public controversies, flood response, hidden cash, security failures highlight the need for accountability. Congregations and observers increasingly ask whether leaders will face consequences and whether internal systems can ensure ethical stewardship. The central question is not just about one pastor, but whether the culture of transparency, responsibility, and moral authority can keep pace with organizational scale. True resilience may begin with asking hard questions about power, control, and accountability. Conclusion: a moment of reckoning. Joel Osteen's rise demonstrates the power of faith combined with media, marketing, and charisma. Yet, recent controversies, financial mysteries, legal issues, security failures, and public scrutiny reveal the fragility of such an empire. Lakewood Church's success is remarkable, but it rests on trust in one family and one leader. The coming years may determine whether the ministry adapts to demands for transparency and accountability, or whether cracks deepen, potentially shaking not just the church itself, but broader perceptions of American Christianity. The ultimate test will be whether followers demand more than inspiration. They demand integrity.